Welcome to Programming Skills in C, lecture number 33, Command Line Programming in C. As you're aware, we have been dealing with files. In the first lecture, we talked about the sequential files. We learned how to open a file, how to write data to the file, how to read data from the file, and how to close the file. Those are the 4 questions we dealt with. In the second lecture, we talked about the random access files. These are binary files where we will store information in the file and we can access directly the data from various locations. If we know the record number. Now we come to what is called the command line programming. So in this lecture, therefore, we write command line programs in C. You will write programs to copy the content of one file to another at the command line. You will display the content of a, you give a command at the command line, and then you will be able to display the content of a given file. You learn how to rename a file, and you will also convert during the session a decimal number into binary equivalent using command line programming. And lastly, you will convert a decimal number into a binary equivalent. Yes, that is what. Now, command line, what do I mean by command line programming? So, for example, if the Unix prompt, suppose is a cat and the file name, immediately it will display the content of the file. So, therefore, cat becomes command line program. Similarly, CPI, file 1 to file 2, the content of file 1 you want to copy to it, file 2. In other words, you want to create a duplicate file. So, this CPY is the command line program which is written. Similarly, rename is also command, renaming file name to file name 2. This is the original name that will be deleted, and then you have a new name for that file. So renaming. Similarly, in DOS you use directory to list the content of the directory. Similarly, copy from to file like CPY. This is the command in DOS prompt, and then you have got delete here, file name will delete a particular file. So these are some of the command line programs which we have been using at the Linux level, Unix level, and at the DOS level. Now, for example, if you say directory, immediately this will be displayed, and this is the command line. So now let us see. Let's come to how to program command line. So for example, in the past we have been using main, we have declared our prototype functions, and we have written other functions at the end of the main, and that is how we did all the programs. Today onwards, for this session, we are going to change this. We are going to add a few things, a return value to main, and we are going to give some formal parameters. 2 parameters we are going to give, argument C and character star argument V. This is a character matrix or array of arrays. So that this is what we are. These are 2 arguments we are going to give, and main is going to have a return value, and the code for the program is going to come in here inside main function. As I've said, main also is a function. We have been writing so many functions. Now we are going to come back to main as a function and give parameters, formal parameters, and the return value. And here we will write the code for this main function to do something. So here comes the code. So let us see now, we will go get into these 2 parameters formal. What is the meaning of argument C? The parameter argument C gives the total number of parameters at the command line, including the name of the program. So for example, at the command line rename text1.text to text2.text, I'm renaming text1 into text2. As you see, there are 3 commands here at the command line, name of the program and 2 file names. Therefore, the argument C is a number is giving you 3, 1, 2, 3. In other words, it is going to tell you how many arguments are there, including the file name. How many arguments are there? So argument C is important to check whether we have really given an exact number of arguments for the program to run. So argument C here will be 3. For example, cat test1.text. So there are only two arguments. Therefore, argument C is equal to 2. Or copy text 1 to text 3. I'm copying the content of text 1 to text 3. So copy is the file name, the command line program, as cat is command line program name, rename is the command line program name. Therefore here also the value of argument C is going to be 3. So we have understood what in other words, when I type this command line program name and give the arguments there, immediately inside the main I will know this is going to, those numbers are going to be passed on to this main. So int will contain, the argument C is known as here maybe 2, 3 or 1, whatever it is. So let us see. Now we come to the next part, argument V. What is argument V? So argument V is a character matrix holding the names of parameters passed. As you saw here, we have parameters rename, text1, text2, text. So these are going to be there listed in argument V. Argument V will contain the, for example, in the case of copy students dat to students new. So I'm copying this dat to a new file dat. So what is going to argument? There are three arguments because argument C value is 3, 1, 2, 3. Therefore, argument 0 is going to be the name of the file, our command line file. Argument 1 is going to be students dat, and argument 2 is it going to be students new dot dat. So therefore, this way we know what are the different arguments passed to this program, main program. So this is very important. We are going to use both these immediately now. So please remember, therefore, argument V0 is the name of the program, the command line program, and 1, 2, 3, 4, number depends on number of arguments you are going to pass. Let us see. So now immediately we write a command line program in C to display the content of a text file. So I'm going to write a program called type file and give the name of the file whose content I would like to display. So this is the name of the file I'm going to do. This is the name of the so for example, type file students.dat. So students.dat is a program, is a file which contains information about students. So I say type file, this immediately prints the content of this students.dat. It has got argument C is equal to 2 and argument 0 is equal to type file, argument V1 is equal to students.dat. So let us see. So now how are we going to write? So simple, I'll give the complete algorithm here. So first you open the file argument 1 because we have to find the content of this file. So I have to you open argument V1 for reading, that is students.file. I'm going to read it, open that file for reading. Then once you open the file, you can go on printing. We already know how to print the file, print the content of the file byte by byte. We are going to use different functions for that till you reach the end of the file. And after doing that, you close the file. So with that, we have written a program to display the content of a text file. Binary file, if you print only gibberish stuff, you can't see what it contains. Only text files. We are going to type the content of the text file. So here I am giving you the code. As you see here, first we declare a file fp pointer as we have done in the past. Then I am going to declare ch, int ch. This will hold each byte, the content contained in the byte of the file. So first thing is therefore checking whether you have entered correct number of arguments. Therefore, if argument C is less than 2, that means you have only given the file name, that is our program file name. So then is a syntax error. Then immediately you say this is the syntax, type file, file name. So there should be 2, 0 and 1. 2 arguments are there, file name and 1 argument. So once it is correct, otherwise you exit, don't go forward. What is the use in going forward? So otherwise, if you have entered the correct syntax, then what you do is you open the file for reading as we have done. and if this gives null, that means the file is not there, so file does not exist, again you go out. So these are two important if conditions. Every time you have to check for error here. So whether the syntax is correct or whether the file exists. If file exists, then you use this function called getC from this file pointer. So it is getting by puts there, and put character. This is one more function to put character. It is going to print. It is going to get this character. It is going to print this whatever is character onto the screen. So as long as you have not come to the E of, please remember EOF capital. So very important. So CH, and it is checked whether it is E of. At the end, what is E of? E of is -1. So therefore at the end it is going to, ch will have -1, that means it has come to the end of the file. So therefore this is how you print the content of the file. Then close the file, very important. Every time whenever you open the file, you have to close the file and return 1, because it's integer here, return 1. And with that we have written a first command line program to print the content of file, text file. So please note this. Some more file related functions we will deal with, because we are going to use them immediately. You have already used one. For example, put C. You have got for example here, ch here. This contains a byte of data. I want to write it to file. So I've opened the file as FP. So I put it into that, put C file FP. So this is the prototype of this function, int ch and file f star FP. So put C. How do I use it? Simple thing. This is the command put C character file pointer. For example, do get character from the keyboard and write it to this FP file. FP, you have opened a file giving the name, etc. As long as you have to enter here $sign to indicate that you have come to the end of your input. So this is going to write these whatever data you are typing into a file pointed by FP. So this is one, put C is one command. Get C. Getting byte, as we have used it already, get C from this file pointer. This is the prototype. Get C from this file. For example, here file FP, I am opening a file. I have not given the if condition. You should give that. So test.dat for reading, and I am getting data from this test.dat and then putting out on displaying onto the CRT. So this is get C command, which we have already used there earlier, while we wanted to display the content of a file, get C. So put C, get C. This is also one more important function, file end of. So in other words, I can ask, have I come to the end of the file? Therefore you have to put a not here, not. So this function is integer, returns, so this returns is used to find whether it returns 0 if it is if it is come to the as long as it is not come to the end of the file. So it returns 0 if not. So if it is end of the file, it is going to return 1. Therefore, yes, it is going to say yes. Therefore, you have to put not end of file, because it returns 0. 0, you cancel it with not, it becomes 1. Therefore, this is true. And therefore, you get C, put C, get C, put C. This is what you are going to say. Get. Therefore, file end of is very important. One more function for file management. And with that, we come to program to create a duplicate of a file. Copy file to duplicate, or copy file this duplicate, file to duplicate file. So file in, file out. So therefore, first thing you have to check again, how many arguments are there. If there are not equal to 3, it is not equal to 3. You give the syntax, file copy, file, and duplicate file. So this is the thing. Then once the number of arguments are correct, then you check whether the file exists. So you have to open this file in read mode, that is file 1, which I want to copy. Whose duplicate copy I want to prepare, So therefore R, I open it in R. If it is not there, say file does not exist, it comes out, exits. third again here also again out, in file and out file. Again you want to check whether you are opening this one second file duplicate in the right mode, because I want to open this file, get the content of the file and put the content of the file into out. So that is what I am going to do. Therefore I'm check if it cannot create the file. If it doesn't, if it is equal to null, that means I have not been able to create the file, I exit. So these three conditions have to be done. And the program is very simple. As long as I have not reached the end of the file, you get the byte information from that in and put C, in get C and put C. Put ch to out file. So this is what we are going to do. So there are pointers here. We are just going to take file pointers from in and to out. So in and to out. So as long as there is content here in the in file, it does not come to the end of the file, I get the characters there and then put that character into out file, and this is the whole part of that. Then very important, close, f close in, f close out. So this way we have created the second command line program to copy the file or prepare a duplicate copy of a given file. Here, for one more example, to program to rename a file. Rename a file. I want, this is the file name, original file name. I want to rename it with a new name. How do I do that? First part, as you see, all that is same here. Again, first as you see that syntax contains 3 arguments. Therefore, check whether it contains 3. If it is not, you come out, and here you are reading this file and you have to rename it file. So rename, what we do is we read the file, we write it to the new name file, new name, because we are opening that new name and the writing mode. And what you do is at the end you remove the name argument v1, you remove that file. So remove is a command to remove. You give the file name, automatically goes to the directory and it removes that file. So otherwise this is the same as you have done. You open this in file into out file, that is a new file name, and then you have done that. Once you have done that, you close both in and out and you delete argument 1. Argument 1 means the original file is removed. File was there, I've just copied it. Afterwards I'm just deleting the whole file. So file name is given, I delete the whole file, original file. So this way I have renamed. What I have done is I have copied the content of this file to this new file and we have deleted this file completely. So that is what is being done here. This is therefore rename file. For example, here I'm giving you type test. For example, I have done here rename test9 into test new.c. So it has done that. Then I said type test9.c. So he says it is not there. The system cannot find the file because I've deleted that file. It has a new name. Then I'm telling here again. So type testnew.c. Immediately gives the content of that new file, which was the original test9.c. So this is at the command prompt. Yes. Now, next program to find the binary equivalent of an integer. It is done at the command prompt. At the command prompt, I am going to say dec to bin and give some number, the integer number. It should immediately give you the corresponding binary equivalent of that number. So this is the thing. So my syntax is therefore dec to bin. So dec number is given. So again, argument C, I check the argument C whether there are 2 arguments there. Not 2, you say mistake its syntax. Syntax is dec to bin decimal number. You come out of that. Then in this case now, you are giving a number. Now, whatever number is there, it is considered as a character array. As you see, argument v1 is a character array. I have to convert that into number. To do that, I use one more function as ASCII to integer. A to I is ASCII to integer. And please remember, I have to include string.h there. So ASCII to integer. So that is the function I have got. So I'm going to use that and then printf. I'm printing that number just to check. So number. Now what do? I have to convert into decimal number. So number is they have to convert it into binary number, not decimal, binary number. And we have already done that. So argument is go on dividing number by 2, that is modulus division. Find the r. If r is equal to 1, I add 1 to this bin. So as you see, the character array is a bin character array. Otherwise I add 0. Go on doing it. And every time I divide it by 2, I truncate the number, I go on doing that. At the end of that, I come out of the loop and I add null character, because the character array, I add null character to that. I reverse that. We have done this conversion earlier. So this is just the repetition. I reverse that bin and I use puts because bin is a character array. I print it and F close. Immediately it is going to display the binary equivalent of that number text to bin. So let us see now. For example, here I am showing you some example here. So I've entered deck to bin 1023. So it is going to give me, as you see here, a binary equivalent of 1020. This is the number entered. This is the binary equivalent. I entered number bin, deck to bin 1024. It is going to display that original number, and it is going to give you the binary equivalent. Deck to bin 16. 16 is 1 followed by 4 zeros, and deck to bin 24. So this is going to be binary equivalent of that number. So this is how the next program to convert deck to bin decimal number to binary number using command line programming. Please remember again, the number you are entering at the command line is not a number, it is a character array. Therefore, it is here argument v1 contains that. I convert that into integer number and then do all this program here, this part of the program, which converts the decimal number or integer into its binary equivalent. So I would like you to work out these problems. Write a command line program to copy to the content of one file to another file. I think we have done that. File copy. Rename. Again, do that. And please remember, you have to remove. And also you do file to upper, file name. So we have done, you know already how to do that. So you have to check, therefore, if ch is greater than equal to small a and less than equal to small z, then you say or and only during that. You say s of I is equal to, or ch is equal to ch uh, minus small a and capital A. So this is the thing. Change. There are more deck base to decimal number, any base to decimal number, hex to decimal number. Append, file the content of this file and add it to this previous file. So there you have to open the file in append mode. Please know that, and go on copying the content of the second file to first file. So these are some of the programs you will have to do. Thank you.